Sometimes when I make these podcasts and I start recording, I know I'm going to talk about Baker Mayfield. I never know how long I'm going to talk about Baker Mayfield, but I know I'm going to talk about Baker Mayfield and these Browns fans. I told you, ever since that motherfucker decided to pop off at the mouth with the if we made him throw when referencing Lamar Jackson and the one time them motherfuckers beat us, it was OV for me after that. It was over for me after that. Because I had never in my life heard a quarterback go at another quarterback on an opposing team that had said nothing disrespectful or dirty to him. I had never heard a quarterback disrespect another quarterback like that. And believe it or not, I was actually a Baker Mayfield fan at the time. Like I liked Baker Mayfield more than I had liked Lamar Jackson at the time. Just off of skill, because I had thought coming out of college, I was like, Baker's way of style might transfer more over than Lamar. What you didn't realize was, or what I didn't realize was the work ethic. Lamar Jackson clearly has a better, higher work. And I don't have to be there to see them working. I can see it in the improvements Lamar Jackson makes every single year. And you crazy if you thought you was coming to this channel, this podcast, and wasn't going to talk about Lamar Jackson. You're crazy. You're crazy. This is Lamar Jackson's Stan account, basically. But I wonder that every time, and let me go ahead and pause real fast and say I appreciate y'all for joining me. The breakdown video, the breakdown podcast for this week's NFL games is coming. It is coming. This was a rough week for me because I was so tired when I had woke up on Sunday morning. I had turned on the Browns game. I had got back in the bed, basically. I was still in the position I told you I was in the other day. But I got back in the bed, basically, and I fell the fuck back to sleep, to be completely honest with you, for a quarter. I woke up, was watching the game some, saw Baker throw his interceptions and whatnot. I did see those. Started looking at some other games when I realized how whack the Lions-Browns game was going to be. And just nothing was really moving me. I'm going to be honest with you. Nothing was really moving me. And the reason nothing really was moving me was because I knew WWE had a pay-per-view that night. Now, if you don't know me, one thing you're going to get to know about me as you listen to me and follow me, I am a huge WWE fan. Like, that is my absolute, and I'm pretty sure I done said this before, WWE is my absolute favorite sport. It is a sport. If you don't think it's a sport, good the fuck for you. I'm not arguing that with you. I'm not arguing scripted versus fake and all that type of stuff. Go back to fucking elementary if you need to relearn the meanings of those words. Or just pop out your phone and look on Google. Either way, I'm pretty sure you don't keep a Webster's dictionary by you. Either way, though, wrestling is by far my favorite because I just remember my childhood. I can remember almost every. Now, granted, I can remember damn near all the Ravens games I done ever watched and the moments and the crazy shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like the Joe Flacco Super Bowl run in 2011/12. I remember that entire season. I remember that entire run. I could tell you damn near every play that happened in that playoff run and shit in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at WWE. Like, I could damn near remember almost, obviously I don't remember all of them, but I can remember damn near most of the shit I've seen from WWE. And I've been watching WWE for years, since I was a kid. That's one of the things that I was always confused by, how you can grow up so in love with WWE, because I was in love with wrestling when I was a kid. I still love wrestling. Like, I still feel about wrestling how I felt when I was a kid. As now that I'm a grown man, I understand shit a lot more, so that make it even better. You know what I'm saying? My love is only grown for the sport. I know some people hate WWE based off of Vince firing people and all that type of shit. That's your prerogative. I don't think you're a wrestling fan as much as you are a fan of certain wrestlers. But hey, whatever. I just don't know how you can grow up loving the WWE and then you just hate them so much now. To me, it's no way you're a fan of WWE. And that's fine. You don't have to be. But this ain't a WWE video. But that is my favorite sport. So when I knew that it was a pay-per-view Survivor Series, which is a big pay-per-view in WWE, if you watch WWE, you know the big pay-per-views is like obviously WrestleMania. Now, for you, those of you who don't know, if I had to choose which big main event I would watch, or which big pay-per-view or special, like the end game for all these sports, Like if you had to watch the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup, the PGA Tour, WrestleMania, like what would you pick? I would pick WrestleMania every single time. Like I would pick WrestleMania every single time. That's how much I love WrestleMania. Next, I would take the Super Bowl. Like those two is interchangeable. Like they will never be changed. I will always take WrestleMania, Super Bowl. That's just how I'm built. To me, wrestling just brings out so much more in me than football do sometimes. Now, I could be saying that because it's been a rough year for us. But I love Lamar Jackson, bro. I could watch Lamar Jackson play all day. So I don't think it's because of that. I just really love wrestling. Like I'm probably the biggest wrestling fan you'll ever meet. I just don't have all the shirts and the gear and all that type of shit. I'm not above wearing that shit. I'll wear anything. Well, not dresses, but talking about in the realm of men's clothing. But we talking about Baker on this episode, man. But once I knew that Survivor Series was on, bro, it was a dub for me, bro. That's all I was preparing for. Mentally, that's all I was thinking about all day. Dead ass. Like, that's all I could. Some people probably like, man, you a grown ass man and you didn't care about football over wrestling. You're damn right, bro. All I could think about all day was, man, I wonder what's going to go down on Survivor Series tonight. Survivor Series about to be lit. That's all I could think about. So it was hard for me to really give any football game my full attention this week. It was a struggle, especially because Baltimore didn't even have Lamar playing. I didn't even watch our whole game this week. I did watch most of it. I don't want Raven fans to say, "Oh, you're not a real fan. You're not a." Listen, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all every single time somebody try to accuse me of being a fake Baltimore fan. I done had this Baltimore tattoo on me for the longest when we had Flacco. I was supposed to have gotten a number 5 tattooed on me 2 years ago, and I never had got it done. I'm still going to get Ed Reed's number tattooed on me, my favorite player all time. I'm still going to get E.D. Reed, boy. Best safety you ever seen, boy. You heard? But listen. So I'm gonna break down the videos this week, man. The videos coming, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I have to be 100% honest with y'all, man. This is a different week because I'm gonna have to watch highlights. I've been having to go back and re-watch games. You gotta understand, when you wake up on Sunday morning expecting to see Lamar Jackson versus fucking Justin Fields, and what you end up seeing is Trey Huntley versus Andy Dalton. That's some expectation droppers that you don't even, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's not as bad as somebody telling you, "Oh, I got some free bud for you," and then they get you the free bud and it's trash, or they just don't get it to you at all. It's not as bad as that, because that will completely kill a whole vibe. But that did kill my whole vibe Sunday also. Like, I was looking forward to 2 things on Sunday: Fields versus Lamar in Survivor Series. That's it. I was going to watch the games and shit like I do every week, but this was one of them weeks that the WWE was going to get my full undivided attention. It was no two ways around it. They were going to get my undivided attention. I even missed the first match of the pay-per-view, which I'm not mad at, because the first match that I technically watched was Charlotte Becky. I didn't have to sit through Rick Boobs and Shinsuke, just because I wanted to finish fucking watching the Cowboys game. For some reason, I don't even know why I gave so much time to that Cowboys game. But this video right here is about one man, Baker Mayfield. Listen, man, I try to tell motherfuckers, man, listen, I'm not big right now. And by the time I get big, Baker Mayfield would have been a blimp in the Browns atmosphere. So by then, it won't even matter none of this shit that I'm saying. So I'm going to get it all out while I can. For one, I'm real sick and fucking tired of people saying that, "Oh, people just hating on Baker." How can you critique Lamar Jackson the way y'all do and then call it hating when people critique Baker? Lamar Jackson was a 32nd pick in the fucking draft, and he done outplayed every quarterback. Lamar Jackson has outplayed everybody in his draft. Okay? Every single person that was in the draft that Lamar Jackson was in has been outplayed by Lamar Jackson. Baker Mayfield was the first fucking pick in that draft. Never mind him being outplayed by Josh Allen and all these. The motherfucker was the first pick in the draft. I don't care about who he been outplayed by. We ain't even talking about that right now. The motherfucker was the first pick in the draft. Don't that come with some type of expectations? And see, I'm not even getting at Cleveland fans no more, bro. Because a shit ton of Cleveland fans done came to their senses. They done came to that. They done already said, listen, yeah, Baker's not it. And I saw a Cleveland radio host, or rather I listened to a Cleveland radio host this week talk about some fucking, why do you fans want to be right on Baker being bad and blah, blah, blah. I just think it's funny how the vitriol and the how pissed off people get when they trying to defend Baker, and you never see this type of energy for Lamar Jackson. Very few people in the media got this type of energy when defending Lamar Jackson, bro. I give credit to the dudes who do. Marcellus Wiley, Dominique Foxworth, fucking Greeny. Who else? I want to make sure I get it correct. Ryan Clark, Bart Scott. I want to make sure I get a credit to the people. Shannon Sharp was critical and he done came around, and he even though I don't know, take Shannon off the list. I ain't for sure yet. But it's not a shit ton of Teddy Bruschi. Listen to the motherfucker. Like I just don't understand how it's hating. That's really what I'm stuck on at this very moment, because people giving you facts. Baker's bad on third down. Baker's bad when he has to lead the team. For one, he got the best running game in football, and Kareem Hunt's not even playing. That's their backup. The third string running back is balling, and obviously you got Nick Chubb, who I thought was the second best running back in football behind Derrick Henry. But if he got as many carries as Derrick Henry had, I don't know if he wouldn't do just as much as what Derrick Henry do. But you shouldn't want your running back. Derrick Henry still lead the league in carries, and he ain't played in like 4 weeks, bro. That is a problem, to have your running back have that many more carries than everybody. It's like a game of Madden, bro. You ever played Madden in franchise mode, and I don't know why you would run the ball as much as I don't know why you would, unless you're just training to get better at running, I don't know why you would just be a run-heavy team in a franchise mode. But it's kind of like running 30-plus times a game, and when you go to week 5, you're going to realize your running back got like 100-plus more carries than the second running back in carries. That's kind of what's happening to Derrick Henry. So I'm actually glad not that he got hurt. I'm never happy nobody got hurt. I'm glad King Henry get to take this time off the hill of his body, because that motherfucker done been ran to the ground the last couple years. And you see how bad Tannehill playing. I mean, I told y'all, I think I told y'all last week that yes, that I believe the Titans are going to win this game, but them bozos lose to the weirdest teams, dog. Like, they lost to the Jets, so I was like, they could drop this one because Tannehill done been playing bad, and sure enough, he throw 4 picks against the Titans. It's weird how I knew that was in the back of my head that could happen, bro. It's not even weird because the Titans lose to weird teams every year. But it was just funny that in the back of my head, even though I picked them to win that, in the back of my head, I was like, these motherfuckers could lose this game, though, because they lost to the Jets. And sure enough, it's funny because when that score popped up and I saw the highlights and all that type of shit, I literally said, like, I wasn't shocked. I was not shocked in the slightest. I literally said, yeah, it's a Titan shit to do. You boost them up so high last week, like everybody was doing, they got so many injuries and they playing through this and they doing this and that, and then they let you down this week, bro. I just had a feeling it was coming, bro. It's not even just a Titan thing. That it happened to every team. You boost them up, so you boosted up Baltimore so heavy. They the best team in the league after blowing out of the Titans. I mean Chargers, and then we get our asses stumped in by the Bengals the next week. You say the Bengals so good. The Bengals the best team in the league. They get stomped by the Browns the next week. Now, luckily, nobody was stupid enough to say that the Browns was the best team in the league, especially. And I just want to point out, I said the Browns weren't making the playoffs this year, even with the defense, the running game, and the offensive line they had, because now that is not a COVID year. Even though dudes is leaving, missing games because of COVID and shit. I was like, now that teams actually got their off seasons back and shit like that, I promise you the Browns are not making the playoffs. If I'm wrong on that, I'll be wrong. But the Browns, to me, are not making the playoffs because they got the worst quarterback in the division, one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL at this point. I can't make up, like, the game that happened to Detroit. Like, that's not me making that up. That really happened. That motherfucker Baker was really out there. And you want to know what's funny? Because people look at this Detroit game and they'll be like, oh, that's what broke the dam for me. I would just say you haven't been watching Baker since he been in the league. See, this is what's funny. Josh Allen has only had one good year since he been in the NFL. You can't even say this been a good year because he losing to weird teams and shit. They done lost first place in their division to the Patriots. And I told y'all like 2-3 weeks ago, the Patriots only look as good as they do because the Bills are playing so bad right now. That's one of the reasons the Steelers look as good as they do sometimes. Because everybody else in the division was playing so bad. But this ain't about the Steelers. When you look at the fucking Patriots, Mac Jones ain't doing nothing special. The motherfucker don't even average 200 throwing yards a game. He averaged 5 yards at air yard completion rate. That's his air yardage per completion. At one point in time this season, it was just barely 3.5. Like, come on, man. I done had this discussion with y'all. I'm not hating on Mac Jones. Believe me. Alabama quarterback. I love Mac Jones. However, it's foolish to say that team getting carried by Mac Jones when you watching the defense do what them motherfuckers do on a weekly basis, bro. Like, come on, bro. You throw Josh Rosen goofy ass in their pick six. You throw the other quarterback in their goofy ass, throw a pick too. So the Patriots defense is so insane right now. And like I said, they got everybody back. They got I think it's real funny how when motherfuckers get released that used to be with the they just go right back to the Patriots. Collins went right back to the Patriots after he left Detroit. Fucking Kyle Van Noy, get the Dolphins release him, immediately go back to the Patriots. Like, Bill can't be that bad if motherfuckers is willing to just go right back to the man, and he willing to sign the motherfuckers right back. He can't be that bad. Like, I be hearing about how, and you want to know what's funny? This video is supposed to be just based on Baker and the Browns right now. Obviously, we was going to talk about a lot of shit in this episode. But I do want to get back to the Browns because let's get back to Baker, bro. Number 1 offensive line, number 1 run game, great core receivers. You trade or release basically Odell Beckham Jr. because why? He was matter of fact, I know why. I'm not a big fan of Emmanuel Acho on this subject, but I agree with what he said. When you become a distraction and your production is not there, then it is time to trade you. Now, granted, it was time to trade Odell before that point in time. And you got to remember, Odell did not choose to be in Cleveland. He was traded to Cleveland. Any success or non-success he has in LA, you could put that on Odell. I'll put that on Odell. I'm not a fan of Matthew Stafford, so naturally listen, bruh. I know you want to blame Odell for everything, but if you just sit back and watch the fucking games and take your biasness out of it, you would see Odell is not the problem. I just think it's real funny that people blame receivers. For one, people will say receivers don't matter. And then you'll turn around and blame receivers for all the quarterback's problems, bro. I just think that's real weird because if you really sit back and watch these games, like I've been telling y'all, like you don't even really have to watch them if you come listen to me. Because I'll just tell you what I saw because I watch full fucking games. You know what I'm saying? If you just listen to me, Baker has always been the problem. The Browns have had a great running game since Nick Chubb got there. And they added Kareem Hunt, and it got even better. Their defense has been shaky, the secondary mostly. But the secondary has not been last year, the secondary was a problem. The secondary gave up a lot of yards. But this is the problem that I have. You give the secondary blame, right? But where's that same blame for Baker when he fucking up and shit? That's my problem. I hear everybody blame the defense. I hear everybody blame the run game. I hear everybody blame the receivers. I hear everybody blame the coach. I never hear people blame Baker. And that's just weird to me when you the first pick in the draft. Motherfucker, you got to understand. It's motherfuckers who tell me Lamar not good because he haven't won a playoff game. That motherfucker was a 32nd pick in the draft, bro. 32nd pick, and he held to higher standards than Baker Mayfield. And like I said last week, man, you keep telling me this thing. You keep saying, oh, he led the Browns. That motherfucker didn't lead the Browns. He was on a team that got to the playoffs that had multiple reasons as to why, the biggest of which being the run game in Stefanski, is why he was on the train, bro. Just because I'm on the train to Busan don't mean I drove the motherfucking train to Busan. You get the wording right there? Yes, I was on the train. I did not conduct the train. You dig? Because I understand some grammar or politically correct nerds out there gonna say, well, you can't drive a train. It's a conductor, not a driver. I get it. You're right. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's a difference between being the conductor of a train and the passenger of a train. Baker was a passenger of that Cleveland Browns playoff run or playoff game, not the conductor. Far from it. You done heard multiple people say, we win in spite of Baker Mayfield, not because of Baker Mayfield. And listen, you can have a good game here and there, but I done told y'all weeks ago, and now y'all seeing a lot of people in the media say it, I would take Kirk Cousins over Baker Mayfield. And I don't even think Kirk Cousins like that, but I would take him over Baker Mayfield. For one, Kirk Cousins is a better thrower of the football. There's no two ways around it. Do Kirk Cousins got weapons? Sure. So does Baker. And I don't want to hear, oh, he don't got weapons now, because he had Odell, and y'all motherfuckers said he was the problem. And like I said, if you just look at those tapes, he overthrowing. I mean, one of the greatest examples was this year against fucking Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. They still won the game, but they could have definitely iced the game if Baker Mayfield just hit a wide the fuck open Odell for a game-winning put away touchdown. Couldn't do that. I don't know what y'all see in Baker. And I know one of the biggest things people like to do is compare Baker to the past Cleveland quarterbacks. But when you comparing trash cans to other trash cans, what the fuck is the point? We arguing over which trash stink worse. It doesn't really make sense. It would be a difference if Baker had put up Josh Allen's numbers to this point. Because I know everybody want to act like Josh Allen didn't deserve the contract he got either. He got that contract off of potential, not off of what he done. He only done been to the playoffs, twice, got knocked. He done looked bad in every playoff game. The defense done been just as big a part of him being successful because he only done had one great year. And he got paid off of what they believe he's going to be, what they think he's going. Lamar Jackson is going to get paid off of what they know he's going, what they believe he's going to be. I want to use the same wording with Josh Allen because I think Josh Allen's going to be a stud. I'm using different wording for Lamar, but don't think that I'm slighting Josh Allen. All right, I'm not slighting Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen. I do not think he is better than Lamar Jackson, but I'm definitely not slighting Josh Allen. He is a top 10 quarterback in my opinion. A lot of analysts would probably, no, a lot of analysts not going to argue that. The ones who don't really look at the games are not going to argue that. The ones who actually look at the games of Josh Allen, for whatever reason they watch full games of him, they will argue that he probably is not but they'll give him the slight nod anyways. But it's been a rough one for Josh Allen this year. But it's been a rough one for a lot of quarterbacks this year. Lamar haven't had the prettiest year, but he also ain't had the... But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Baker Mayfield, buddy. But listen, and I see his wife reposting shit on Instagram and shit like that. I saw that little story about how Baker playing through injuries and his team could learn a thing or two or whatever. And she didn't tweet it or she didn't post it. She just reposted it or liked it or whatever. This was very interesting. Bro, if you so hurt, bruh, and you gonna complain about injuries all the time, bruh, stop fucking playing, bro. Dead ass. Everybody's playing hurt. Nobody wants to hear you bitch about being hurt all the fucking time. Nobody wants to hear you bitch about being hurt every time something go bad. Because, bro, I don't never see y'all with this energy, or Baker for that matter, with this energy when he down there pumping his fists and shit after he done took a hit and get. And, bro, y'all, it's like people keep forgetting how this motherfucker got hurt anyways, how he tore his labrum. From doing that bozo shit where he either had threw a pick or he fumbled it and he tackled that Texan and blew his fucking labrum, bruh. That was an injury he caused. And y'all keep telling me, man, oh, Baker been bad because of this injury. That motherfucker was bad before the injury, bruh. Baker Mayfield did not just exist this year, bruh. I told y'all. I was saying that motherfucker was an average to just slightly above average quarterback because of last year. But them 3 years had made me really, meaning the first 2 years and this year, had made me really want to say, and just the fact that I knew he wasn't why they was good last year. I mean, he was having success, but it was because if you watched the team, every time that team dominated on the run game, teams had to sell out to the run game, and that was leaving motherfuckers wide open in the play action, which is the only thing that motherfucker is successful at. Go look at the numbers, bro. He is a way better play action quarterback than drop back pocket quarterback, which should tell you all you need to know. But I told y'all in one of these podcasts, I wanted to really be honest and say that motherfucker was a below average quarterback. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt anymore, bro. This motherfucker was the first pick in the draft, bro. I expect this motherfucker to be the best quarterback, if not show the most potential of all these quarterbacks out of all of them. Not only has he not done either of those things, this motherfucker can't even use the excuse, oh, his team's so bad. That motherfucker haven't had a bad team in 3 years, bro. The Browns have had a good offense for 3 years now. You keep giving me this excuse. Like, y'all wasn't giving none of these excuses when y'all blamed what's the man's name? Freddie Kitchens, even though that's who Baker wanted. Y'all was real hyping Baker up heavy when he was going at his former coach Jackson, going at what's the man's name? Hugh Jackson, bruh. Which is unprofessional as shit for bruh. You ain't seen Tom Brady go at that man Bill Belichick not one time. But for some reason, it was cool for Baker to go at that motherfucker, at his former coach. And what had he done to that point? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, y'all geek this man up at every point, every turn, and look at where it has gotten you. No fucking where. Y'all know that y'all hanging on by the playoff hopes, bro. And if it wasn't for Baltimore's defense being so fucking bad, I would take us to beat y'all 2 games in a row. I'm taking us to beat y'all 2 games in a row anyways. But if it wasn't for our fucking defense, I would take us to slaughter y'all 2 games in a row. I just know how bad our defense is and how expired Greg Roman is starting to become in these last couple of weeks. He's no longer in his bag. But we got Lamar Jackson, so I'm taking him to beat y'all motherfuckers twice anyways. If y'all lose to us twice, bro, that's the season. And I don't want to hear shit else about Baker, because I'm coming on here and roasting them. I don't talk about the Jaguars a shit ton. Baker Mayfield gonna get this airtime. Baker Mayfield is gonna get this airtime. You best believe that. Not gonna miss a beat. I don't care if his team dead in the water, no shot at Baker to play. Don't care. Still gonna be watching them motherfuckers play. And by that time, if they already out of the playoffs, hell, they probably gonna bitch the motherfucker anyways and let him get healthy. So they can run this same shit back next year. And I'm gonna tell you what's funny. Brown's really about to be at a crossroads, because I don't believe that Kareem Hunt has been paid yet. Not Kareem Hunt. I don't believe Nick Chubb has been paid yet. And Nick Chubb's going to demand the most money on the market for a running back. I think he could ask for more than Derrick Henry. You can't pay Nick Chubb and pay Baker Mayfield and have Myles Garrett on the books. And have to, I think they're going to end up having to pay Denzel Ward too. So then you're going to have to pay Denzel Ward, who will get paid good money from some other team if you don't pay him. So now you're going to have to start killing your team and killing the talent on your team just to keep Baker midfield. Why would the Browns do that? See, I don't think the Browns are going to re-sign Baker. They already done picked up his 5th-year option, so I do believe Baker will be back next year. But it's no shot that the Browns give him an extension. Unless he take a super discount, and it ain't even a super discount. Unless he take what he fucking deserves, it's no shot that the Browns re-sign him. Because I'm not paying Baker Mayfield $20 million a year. Why would I do that? And he's nowhere near my top player on my team. Baker Mayfield, realistically, is not getting paid more than Myles Garrett. He's not in that stratosphere. He's not getting paid anywhere near what I'm paying Kareem Hunt. What I'm paying Nick Chubb. He's not getting paid Kareem Hunt money for that matter, because when Kareem Hunt plays, he's a far more productive player for us, and his production matters more to us than Baker's. So I can't pay him more than either of my two running backs. Shit, my third string running back starting to prove that he deserved more than Baker. I'm not paying him more than Jarvis Landry, even though Jarvis Landry's play is dictated by his trash-ass quarterback. What I know is if I go out and get a better quarterback, Jarvis Landry, because Jarvis Landry for the longest was holding it together, making Baker look decent. I can't pay him more than Donovan Peoples-Jones if I'm planning on re-signing him. I can't pay, you could pay him more than him, I guess. He ain't really proven to be a top receiver, even though he decent in that play action, but I want to see if he could really... You could pay Baker more than him. I can't pay him more than Denzel Ward. I can't pay him more than, we already talked about Myles Garrett. Now, the other guys on the defense, is some guys on the defense you already done paid, obviously, like Johnson. I wouldn't pay him more than Johnson. But listen, you get the point I'm making. So if I have to go down a list of so many different players before I get to my fucking quarterback, why would I throw out $35, $40 plus million to him? And like I said, if that's the case, why would I give him $20 million? It would make no sense to me to pay somebody at that position, the most important position on a football team. Like you hear these analysts say, the most important job in America, the hardest job in America. Why would I pay a dude that's a below average at that position that much money? Why would I pay him $20 million? So I don't think, if that's how the Browns break it down logically the way I just did, then I don't think it's a shot that they pay him. Because I don't think they're going to be thinking, well, we haven't been good since we got Baker. Well, we got a lot of other great players around the time we got Baker Mayfield also. And those players' production says that they are better, that we are better because of them, not because of Baker. If we can go and mold a different quarterback that we can get in the draft, it's no point of keeping Baker. Plus, that quarterback could be on we'll get 4 cheap years out of him unless he just blow. But even then, we could still get them years, because the only reason Patrick got paid early is because he won that Super Bowl. But I don't know why the Bills chose to pay Josh Allen so early. I don't think that his play to that point and his numbers said, yeah, pay me now. But hey, I'm not even mad at the Ravens for not, obviously I'm biased for the Ravens because I love Lamar. But I'm not really mad at they haven't paid him either. Even though he has done more for his team. Nah, you got to pay Lamar. You should have paid Lamar by now. Them other teams don't have to carry. Them other players don't have to carry what Lamar got to carry for the Ravens, bro. Go look at the numbers, bro. Oh, you biased. Go look at the numbers. Just go look at them. But if they're looking at the situation like I just looked at it, I say you go get a rookie out of the draft and mold him. And y'all already know how I feel about the pundits. So don't come in here and say, oh, well, there ain't no good quarterbacks in the draft. Fuck what you heard. They didn't think Patrick Mahomes was going to be good. They didn't think Deshaun Watson was going to be good. They didn't think Lamar Jackson was going to be good. Come on, man. You can't listen to these goofy-ass pundits. They don't know what the fuck they be talking about half the time. You dig? But so, listen. You could even say Cleveland should make a trade or try to get a quarterback in the offseason. I don't think that's going to happen personally. I don't give a fuck how good Cleveland's team look. I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is trying to move him and his wife to Cleveland. I don't think Russell Wilson is moving from Seattle with Sierra and his children to move to Cleveland. I'm sorry. I'm not talking shit about Cleveland. I'm pretty sure some beautiful areas in Cleveland. I'm just saying compared to where they could go and play. Like Odell didn't leave Cleveland and go to Jacksonville. Odell didn't leave Cleveland and go to Seattle. Odell left Cleveland and went to fucking LA. He went back to a big market team where he know he gonna be on TV. He know he gonna be seen. Russell Wilson is the only reason that the Seattle Seahawks are on fucking TV. I don't give a fuck how great that defense was. You are not on TV as much if it's not for Russell Wilson. The Green Bay Packers are on TV so much because of Aaron Rodgers, not because of the Green Bay Packers. I know we talk about how historic that team is, but they also have had historic quarterbacks that warrant the TV time. So that's a different situation. So I don't want to hear motherfuckers say, well, Green Bay be on the TV. The motherfuckers had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, two of the greatest quarterbacks arguably of all time. So come on. Let's chill out. That's all I'm saying. But listen, Cleveland has way too. And matter of fact, let's hop back to a point I made earlier. I don't want to hear people trying to compare Baker and say, oh, I already didn't address when you talk about, oh, we haven't had a team that's good. When I talk about all the players you got also. But I also don't want to hear when motherfuckers compare him to the other quarterbacks. I can't even name all of them. Tyrod, Brandon Wheaton, Colt McCoy, and then take they had just take your picks, bro. They done had so many fucking quarterbacks since I done been alive. I can't even remember all the fucking quarterbacks that the Browns have had. But I'm not trying to hear you compare those quarterbacks, Baker, to them and say, oh, well, look how much better Baker. Because Baker's not good either. So like I said, it's comparing which shit smells worse. Makes no sense. When, like I said, is you could easily go get another. For one, the reason I believe you could get a rookie quarterback. Now, you would have to trade up to get him, obviously, because if you win and you're not bad enough right now. And that's the problem also. You're not bad enough to get a high pick, and you're not good enough to get to the playoffs and be a Super Bowl contending team. You right in the middle. And usually right in the middle is the worst place to be in the NFL. Because in the NBA, you can be right in the middle, and one superstar can decide to come over there, and it all changes. In the NFL, one superstar don't usually change the life of a whole team unless it's a quarterback. So if you drafting in the middle of the draft, you probably not getting that game-changing quarterback unless somebody fall. But usually the game-changing quarterbacks get drafted high. So if you draft them right in the middle, you got to have real good draft people to be nailing your draft picks. And so if you Cleveland, if you're Cleveland, you can't draft, like, you're not drafting in the top 10. You're not making a Super Bowl run every year with Baker. So what do you do? Because you're right in the middle, and that's the absolute worst place to be. Like, you can talk all the shit you want to about Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville gonna get a top pick in there for to help Trevor Lawrence out some more. And I'll continue to say that is the worst situation in the NFL. But you see what's happening to Nagy now, right? You see how the players, the city, and everybody done turned on him now, right? And I want to address something now that I'm thinking about that. As much as I dislike Baker Mayfield, the person and the player, and I know people saying, man, you don't even know Baker the person. Man, I'm just going off of what I done seen, bro. And maybe that's not right. But this motherfucker has been a real dickhead, personally and off the field. So you could say, oh, you ain't never met him and blah, blah, blah. That's cool. Well, you just make sure you remember that for all the people that you, for some reason, dislike and shit, all right? All right, bet. Now that we got that situated, I just had to get that off my chest. But when you look at motherfuckers made me forget what I was the point I was making. I had to stop and address this shit with y'all because I knew it was gonna be some motherfuckers hating and judging and shit. And now that I had to address that with y'all, I instantly forgot what I was fucking talking about. Hope you're happy. So since I forgot what the fuck I was talking about, and it was probably a great fucking I remember. And if I don't, I remember where I was talking about somewhere in this area, and it'll get me back to that point somehow, some way, like breadcrumbs, you dig? But you see how the city of Chicago treating Matt Nagy and whatnot, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, like I said, will remain to be the worst run organization situation. But because they are so bad, they are going to get a top pick in the draft to come over there and help Trevor Lawrence. That might end up getting this bozo coach another year, which he should not. He should be fired at the end of the season, bringing an adult to get Trevor Lawrence the development and growth that he need and the structure that he need. But Matt Nagy's out of there. That's a great thing for Chicago. You want to know why? Oh, I know exactly where so as much as I don't, I'm going to get back to that point on Matt Nagy. But as much as I don't, dislike Baker and all that type of shit, I do not agree with him being booed at home. Now I know people are like, what? Listen, I done said this multiple times, bro. And this, my feelings towards this outweighs my feelings towards Baker, because this is just, I refuse to be a hypocrite on this subject. If you are the fucking home team, it makes no sense to boo your team. If you come to a home game to watch your home team perform, it makes no sense to boo your team. I don't care if you're booing Baker or Odell or Jarvis or whoever the fuck on the Cleveland Browns at the time. It is counterproductive to boo your fucking team. In some cases, in very rare cases, I might agree with the situation. It's been very rare that I've seen a situation or can remember a situation where I agreed with you booing your team. I understand being frustrated with how your quarterback playing, but you booing him ain't gonna make that motherfucker play no better. I understand you pissed off y'all trailing to the Lions and shit like that. Booing your team not gonna make them play against the Lions no better. If anything, it's gonna build up a resentment towards the fans. And I also want y'all to know, when you boo your own team, that counterproductiveness, players don't forget that. Like, they will not sign with a team because they don't want to deal with the fans. It is what it is. You done seen multiple people not sign with the Lakers because they say they don't want to deal with that environment or that type of spotlight. A lot of that had to do with fans, because LA fans let you have it. It's different when you have more people willing to play for the Golden State Warriors, because those fans are very forgiving. But you got to understand what they've been, they had Steph Curry. That's when the championship, they done been through the Steph Curry era. And listen, I love Steph Curry more than anybody. Trust me. So I get that. I would love for every fan base to be like that, but that just ain't the case. It's some fan bases that, even though I don't agree with it, they gonna let you have it. They gonna let you hear it. That's counterproductive to the players, bro, to your team. Players not gonna forget that, and you're not helping those players in that moment overcome whatever obstacle it is they are trying to overcome. So, as much as I don't fuck with Baker, I do not agree with booing Baker at home. Now, if you're a Cleveland fan and you want to be on the road and you booing that motherfucker, have at it. Have the fuck at it. But at home, because on the road it's a hostile environment anyways. At home, it's not supposed to be in a hostile environment. Now, and I almost agree. Now, I don't agree when he said it's probably the fans that talk when we're on offense. Baker seemed to be real sensitive and wishy-washy. He seemed to have selective ignorance. Like, he not even selective ignorance. He got selective bitchiness. Like, he bitch about selective things. Like, oh, it's no problem when they cheering and talking on offense when we beating the shit out of a team. But, when they booing me, now it's a problem. When they was booing Odell or was going at Odell, it was no problem. But now that they going at me, it's a problem, because they probably do it when we on offense. Come on, bro. For one, I'm never gonna be one of them fans. Like, to me, this is really wishy-washy. For me to complain about fans making noise for their team when they team on offense is just stupid. Like, if the fans want to cheer for their team when they team on offense, oh, the fuck will. So what? If the offense should be good enough to be able to conduct themselves or operate in that environment, bruh. I'm not finna be a fan to tell the fans to shut the fuck up now when my offense is on. That's just weird. I done even been to, like, some events, like, not NFL events, but I've been to events where I was sitting in the crowd, right? And this motherfucking dude was in there. It was this white dude. I don't know who the dude was. I just knew he was a white dude. He was sitting right beside me. And when the team that we was cheering for on offense for basketball was cheering, this might be a little bit different since it was a basketball game, but the dude was getting mad every single time, like, the crowd would make noise for the team on offense. And I was like, that's weird, because, like, I thought that, like, you were supposed to make noise for your team on offense and shit to get them hype. Now, in NFL, obviously, it's times where it's like pressure moments and the quarterback will, like, wave the crowd down and get them quiet. But the good quarterbacks get the crowd quiet. Peyton, I seen do it. Tom, I seen do it. Lamar Jackson did it against the Colts. I done seen Aaron Rodgers do it. You done seen multiple great quarterbacks so put their hands to the side. I'm doing the motion of quieting them down. Y'all know what I'm doing. And the fans get quiet. You'll even see other fans in the crowd say, shh. Baker Mayfield probably can't get that type of respect because he has no respect with these fans at this point. Like I'm telling you, man, it's like a lynch mob coming out for that motherfucker now, man. Motherfuckers done caught on, man. They not bozos to it no more, bro. They not trying to hold on and say, oh, I just hope our quarterback. Nah, bro. They are. Brown fans have officially moved past the, oh man, things could have worked out if we just did this and that. They have officially moved on to the, okay, let's find something new stage. And I commend the Browns for that, man. Because that stage where you stuck on everything could have worked if we did this, if we do that, that's one of the most irritating stages of dating somebody, bro. Like, especially in dating stances, like if you fuck with a dude or a female who's still stuck on their ex and they still think to themselves all the time, oh, things could have did this and that, and now they be texting them all the time on the low, like, eventually that motherfucker's going to leave you to go back to their ex, bro, because they haven't completely gotten over their ex. They gonna need their ex to do them dirty again, a little bit more, show them they ain't shit some more, for them motherfuckers to finally get a grip and say, you know what, this shit is never gonna work. And the Browns was the most irritating stage. They was going through that. Going at Baltimore fans talking about some old Baker better than Lamar. It's just funny that you would say I'm at the point where those were definitely Baker Mayfield burners. 1,000% was Baker Mayfield burners. No two ways around it. But you was going at us all the time. You going at all these you go to Josh Allen, you go to Kyler Murray, you go at all these other quarterbacks. And now look at you. Now look at you. But you passed that stage, and now you at the stage where y'all ready to mature, y'all ready to move on. Y'all see the root of all y'all problems. Pride is a devil, and it had a hold on y'all. But y'all free now, so y'all good. And the Browns are going to be a scary team once they figure that quarterback position out. But listen, I done heard a GM say this, and I can't even remember which one it was who I heard say this on the. It might have been Michael Lombardi quoting somebody when he was on the Pat McAfee show, but it was some fucking GM. I didn't make the quote up. That was like, it don't matter what position you got right. If you don't got the quarterback right, then you don't got nothing right. So you have to continue year after year after year till you find that quarterback. It is what it is. Now, I don't agree with making stupid decision after stupid decision like the Panthers. The Panthers should have never gotten rid of Cam Newton. Instead, they decided to get rid of him and then sign Teddy Midwater and then sign Sam Trash or Trash Darnold. Unbelievable decision making right there. People get paid to make them type of stupid ass decisions. Just like it was a person paid to make that dumbass decision to take Mitchell Trubisky over Deshaun Watson. Absolutely bozo decision. The tape was there, all the evidence was there. Everything said Deshaun Watson was the guy. Still took Mitchell Trubisky. You can't make that type of shit up. That's exactly why the Bears fans don't want Matt Nagy nowhere near Justin Fields. See, for one, Chicago fans already see what I've seen. Justin Fields is that guy. He's going to be that guy. Justin Fields is legit. They don't want that man nowhere near. And I think Adam Pace or whatever Pace is, I don't know the GM's name. I'm thinking about the raw GM. Whatever the fucking GM for the Bears is, if he was the one who was there that passed up on Deshaun, his ass need to go too. I don't care what good decisions you've made. The ultimate decision that could have changed the trajectory of this franchise forever was Deshaun Watson, and you passed up on that. And that's an unforgivable decision to me. It was unforgivable the moment it happened. I can forgive the Giants for taking Daniel Jones over Dwayne Haskins. Because for one, I think Dwayne Haskins is trash and immature. Even though I think fucking Daniel Jones is also trash, at least he's not as immature as bruh. But that's also lose situation because both of them boys is trash. Neither one of them are going to be starters for a long time. But Dwayne Haskins is not a starter. He probably won't be in the league for too much longer after some of the reports I done read about his ass in Pittsburgh. And think about this. Mason Rudolph is garbage. We know this. He is the closest thing to Nate Peterman we've ever seen. Dwayne Haskins can't beat that motherfucker out. Come on, bro. These motherfuckers tell us about themselves more and more every day. But you still got this doofus ass crowd over there saying, start Dewey. Yeah, Tomlin's not a dumbass. And I give Ron Rivera that. He wasn't stupid enough to continuously put up with Dwayne Haskins, bro. I mean, you gotta be a doofus to do some of the shit he was doing while your own fucking head coach is dealing with chemotherapy and still trying to do his job. But your goofy ass can't even do your job. Man, come on, man. No sympathy for bozo behavior, bro. It's just, I can't, bro. And I just want to let y'all know that WAP is still a bop, bro. It's some hoes in the house. It's some hoes. Bart, bro. Meg and Cardi snap, bro. I don't care how y'all feel, bro. Straight bars, bro. Especially in the end, Meg just snapped. Meg really snapped every time she started rapping when I'm thinking about it. Anyways. I just wanted to get on here and talk about Baker Mayfield, bro, and all this stuff going on with them right now, bro. I just think it's real funny that, you know, everybody giving Baker so many excuses, man. So many excuses. Have you ever seen a first pick in a draft get this many excuses? Have you ever seen a first pick in a draft be expected to be so pedestrian on a week-to-week? I done heard fucking analysts get him an excuse. Well, Baker Mayfield shouldn't be blamed for not being great because he haven't been asked to do all these other type of things. Basically, be a quarterback. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And it's so funny to me because I remember like last year before I even started podcasting. I remember sitting at home wondering where I'm going. I can't remember what that ITT commercial was, but I just remember being on YouTube and looking at a fucking video where it was like one of Baker Mayfield's greatest flaws is his accuracy, and I remember being so dumbfounded that I think that was like the first time I commented under a video, and I was like, how is his best trait accuracy, but he ain't accurate, and the numbers say he ain't accurate? What are we doing at ESPN? Are we just fucking throwing out fake like statements now? Not even fake statements. Let's just call it what it is. Are we just lying now? Like, shit was crazy. And then I be hearing people who now, because you know now Baker Mayfield is starting to get criticized, and you got these fucking boosters who Baker Mayfield's penis done been so far down their throat, they've been boosting him all this time, and now that he playing bad, they immediately be like, oh, I don't know why he gets so much criticism. Motherfucker, Baker Mayfield has never been criticized. Baker Mayfield has been babied. Baker Mayfield has never been asked to be the guy. And it's not that he haven't asked to be. They realized he wasn't that guy. And so now he's been able to hide on. It's much like the Ravens are doing to Patrick Queen right now, which is how I know Patrick Queen will not be with the Ravens for a long time, because he was drafted to be the middle linebacker. They are now hiding him on defense because of how bad a middle linebacker he is. They never hid CJ Mosley on defense, bro. And I tell you, every time I talk about that, I'm not going to bring up like Ray Lewis, bro. Come on, bro. But there's a lot of fucking players in the NFL that's drafted to play a position that don't have to get hidden. And when those players usually do get hidden, they are released eventually. They're hiding Baker Mayfield on offense. And when they don't have the players, or when the other players can't do everything and he's asked to do anything, he usually folds. The stats say it. The eye test says it. I don't know what more these analysts and Baker dick suckers need us to say. Like, is it really that bad to expect the first fucking pick in the draft to be decent? Like, we ain't even asking that motherfucker to be Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen at this point. We just asking that motherfucker to be decent. We asking that motherfucker, can he be better than Kareem Hunt just 1 week out of the fucking season? I mean, Kareem Hunt playing better than this motherfucker even when he hurt. So I don't get it, man. And Baker Mayfield's wife can go around retweeting and talking shit and all that all she wants to. They probably be at home caking it up, bruh, just chit-chatting it up, just a whole bunch of cap going on. And I get it, that's your wife and whatnot, so you supposed to be able to lie to each other blatantly right to the face, talk about how everybody else the problem, when in actuality the only problem on Cleveland right now is Baker Mayfield. You swap out Baker Mayfield with a good quarterback, that team is having a completely different conversation right now. I don't hate to tell you actually, Emily, and you probably will never hear this podcast. That's alright. Your husband's the problem. And I don't know how much longer them motherfucking State Farm or whatever progressive commercials is gonna be calling this motherfucker up, because it won't be his house for too much longer. That's all I know. Cleveland don't give a fuck about Andrew Berry, don't give a fuck about his progressive commercials. Andrew Berry about to come repossess this motherfucking house, you dig? It really should be Nick Chubb's house, to be honest with you. But I appreciate y'all for joining me. I am going to drop the week 11 or 12, whichever fucking week it was this week, video. I'm going to drop that. I think it's 12. I'm going to drop that. That's going to either be out it should be out tonight. I'm going to say it's going to be out tonight, but at the latest, it's going to be out in the morning. That's at the latest. It's definitely going to be out at the latest in the morning, but I'm hoping that I get it out tonight. I got to record it. I haven't even recorded it yet, bro. I still got a couple more games I got to finish watching, bro. After I get through, I got 2 more games. I think I got to get through the fucking, I'm not watching the Jaguars game. So, no, I do got to finish getting through the Jaguars game. Because it's just certain shit that I be looking for in the Jaguars game, bro. I know that's it's a hard reason not to have the podcast out already, but that's not the biggest reason. Like I said, the biggest reason I didn't have the podcast out yet was because fucking wrestling, the Survivor Series, bro. And I done recorded my reaction to that, and I'm not editing. When I edit a podcast, it's a complete reshoot, basically. But I'm re-listening to that to see if I even, and it's Thanksgiving coming up. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but I'm down here with my family, and they do. So I got to help out with the cooking and shit. Is no excuses, but I should have 3 videos up by the end of the week, basically, and 2 today. At the latest in the morning for one of them. So I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. I hope y'all having a dope day, dope afternoon, dope night. I'm actually recording this during the daytime. Usually we a nighttime podcast. Well, we're not technically a nighttime podcast. Hey, and somebody had commented on my video. They was like, yo, I actually love this video, bro. He was like, I don't want to exaggerate, but he was like, yo, this is dope. You should be signed. He said you should have more followers and subscribers. And he gave me some link, I guess. And I think it's where you can get fake followers and shit. I don't think I'm going to pursue that yet, but maybe I will. I don't know. I want to get it organically, and I know that could take years. But, hey, over that time, all you doing is getting better, bro. To be honest with you. And grinding at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all for joining me. Hey, shout out to whoever had left that comment. Shout out to everybody who watched the podcast or listened to the podcast. I appreciate you greatly. You didn't have to look at this one. This one wasn't slides. This one was just one slide. But with that last hit, I bid thee farewell. It's Said out.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. There's these 2 words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver, pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie.